nation. Let us drive safe and share the road. I am couple 3599 Camille Johnson, reminding you that safety is everyone's responsibility.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that is going to do it for us here in the North. I'm Ramiko Knowles.
I'm Shane Stubbs.
Thanks so much for watching. Here's a live look at the Bahamas tonight, coming your way.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
This late night Thursday, the latest on those converging storm systems that continue with the Bahamas along the projected path. Once again, Basil is tracking it all and has the details ahead for us at 11. Plus, the Prime Minister back on the world stage, responding to U.S. President Trump's hoax claims about climate change. Mr. Davis also using this current storm activity to bolster his call for more action on the issue. And early dismissal for students at one junior high school would cause school officials to end classes and when the students are expected to return. Those stories, the day's other news, this late night, Thursday, September 25th, 2025. And good evening to you on this very busy late night. I'm Corbell Pipe from Well. With only hours left before residents in the central Bahamas will feel the impact of a tropical storm or tropical depression. To be more specific, the Met Office confirming a severe weather system will form in that vicinity on Saturday or Sunday. This, in addition to the northwest and northern islands, may be under a possible tropical storm or hurricane conditions by as early as Sunday. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean is tracking it all for us and starts us off here at 11. Good evening, Basil.
We continue to monitor the tropics, and we have Tropical Storm Humberto. It's some 470 miles to the northeast of the northern Leeward Islands, and it's moving very slowly now towards the west-northwest at about 6 miles per hour. And we expect that track to continue, with some intensification taking place by tomorrow. It could become a hurricane as early as tomorrow and a major hurricane as we head into the weekend. But the good news with this system is that it will stay well to the east of the Bahamas. And then the area that we're really concerned about, this is that tropical wave that is now moving over Hispaniola, and it should move into the northwest, into the southeast Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands by tomorrow morning, and that is when we will see an increase in showers and thunderstorms over the southeast Bahamas, and also those winds will be elevating as well. But one of the things I'm waiting to see is what happens with this system once it leaves Hispaniola, because this is a mountainous terrain, and that tends to have a negative impact on the system. So if it weakens significantly, then that would be the best scenario for us. However, the waters are very warm in the southeast Bahamas, so rapid intensification is likely. We anticipate that an area of low pressure will form by Saturday, and then a tropical depression could form as it reaches near the northwest and central parts of the country heading into Sunday. So we're asking you to stay tuned. And this is where that tropical depression is expected to develop and could rapidly intensify into a tropical storm. Another scenario is that Humberto can very well push this towards the north and east and away from the Bahamas. Should that not happen, then we expect it to continue moving towards the north. And on our live weather radar, we can see this is the shower activity associated with that tropical wave. Most of it on the south side of that wave. You can see some heavy thunderstorms are taking place right between Hispaniola and Puerto Rico. And we have another pocket of heavy showers just to the north of that over to the Atlantic. All of this range will be moving over the southeast Bahamas later on tonight and tomorrow. So we're asking residents in the southeast Bahamas to brace themselves for some heavy rain showers.
Thank you, Basil. And of course, we'll look forward to hearing more from the chief coming up in his complete weather forecast later in the broadcast. Meantime, the Disaster Risk Management Authority issuing a strong appeal tonight for residents to take these weather systems seriously by preparing for any impact. Here's the DRM's Assistant Director of Strategic Communications, Shantez Dillette-Wilson.
As part of the national response, the Prime Minister has been fully engaged and will receive his second briefing on the system this evening. Also yesterday, all Family Island administrators were placed on alert, and since then, they have been fully briefed and readiness checks were done for their incident command centers. The DRM team has been testing satellite phones for each of the Family Island administrators to ensure reliable communication across the islands. We expect that process to be completed by tomorrow. We're also in communication with the Ministry of Works, which has mobilized resources to respond to flooding in the event that it is needed.
We can also tell you this late night that the Ministry of Education is saying, out of an abundance of caution, it has decided that that it will close schools on several southern islands starting tomorrow until further notice as officials continue to monitor the approaching weather system. The closures affect public schools on Inagua, Maguana, Acklands, Crooked Island, Long Key, and Ragged Island. Parents and guardians are encouraged to stay connected with school administrators and monitor official updates as this system develops. Well, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis also monitoring these converging storm systems from New York City, where he is attending the United Nations General Assembly. The Prime Minister is using what's happening here to bolster his call for action on climate change on the global stage.
As I stand here at this very moment, there are two systems that are threatening my country, AL3 and AL94. And each of them have been predicted to be impacting my islands.
Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis again at the United Nations, once again urging the world to act on the issue of climate change. Though he did not call him out by name, it was evident he was responding directly to U.S. President Donald Trump's mocking and scoffing at the issue a few days earlier when he addressed the UN body. Climate change, said the U.S. President and leader of the free world, is a hoax.
It's the greatest con job ever perpetrated on the world, in my opinion.
The frequency and intensity of hurricanes is real. It's no hoax. It's not a con job. The 1.5 degree Paris temperature goal is on life support, and our actions ahead of COP30 and beyond will give it the opportunity to either survive or we accept that we have come to the end of a singular call for the hope of humanity.
While President Trump appears tone-deaf on the issue and unlikely to support initiatives promoting renewable energy or pledges to meet 2030 goals in reducing emissions, the Prime Minister has sought and found not only receptive partners, but ones willing to take action. From where he sits, Mr. Davis sees this as less of a political debate, but rather a moral imperative. And the time for playing the blame game, he stresses, has passed.
Zero-sum moralizing, in which for me, to win, you must lose, is counterproductive in a world in which citizens of even the wealthiest nations feel that the social contract is broken, and rising costs and diminishing opportunities are fueling what I call political rage.
But still, a call for all to sit at the table.
We need decision makers everywhere to understand that replacing fossil fuels with renewable energy will not come at the expense of prosperity, but a prerequisite for future prosperity.
Meantime, also taking a swipe at assertions that climate change is not real, Foreign Affairs Minister the Honorable Fred Mitchell, who too is attending the UN's General Assembly meeting, debunked the claims, stressing that the scientific evidence is sound.
For us, it's existential. What was pointed out to us a couple of times is that New Providence, for example, if we do nothing to change the trajectory of the climate and its effects on our country, by the year 2070, 30% of New Providence is going to be underwater, and at the end of the century, 70% of New Providence will be underwater. This is quite a serious thing, and we're now seeing the impacts of climate change right now because the sea levels are rising, so the water table is rising in New Providence, and that's why the roads are so unstable, and we're having to repair roads more often than we normally would. So all of the Caribbean countries are working together on this issue of climate change.
Some other news here tonight. A malfunctioned electrical transformer is said to be the reason why C.H. Reeves Junior High School closed today. That's according to Director of Education Dominique McCartney-Russell, who told reporters that she's hoping the school can reopen as soon as possible. A Ministry of Education release confirmed that an electrical outage impacting the area that supplies the school's water system resulted in no power or water. The school's facility manager, Bahamas Power and Light, and a plumber were called in to rectify the matter. We will, of course, continue to follow this story. A male resident of the capital is grateful to be spared from an alleged abduction and armed robbery last night. Preliminary reports indicate that the male victim was allegedly approached by a group of men on Hamster Road shortly after 8 last night, who forced him into a baby blue expedition vehicle. While inside, the victim was reportedly assaulted and robbed of cash and other personal items. The culprits later released the victim and sped off in an unknown direction. An intense investigation into this matter continues. And police have 3 more armed robberies under investigation. It was around 5 o'clock yesterday morning when a man unlawfully entered a Roma Street home where an occupant was allegedly sexually assaulted before the suspect fled the scene. About 3 hours later in the Sandlands Village Road area, a man unlawfully entered a home there, brandished a firearm and threatened an occupant before leaving the scene. Officers subsequently arrested a 40-year-old man in connection with this matter. Then, between this past Tuesday and Wednesday, police report that some unknown person or persons unlawfully entered a business establishment on Ross Corner and stole a large amount of cash. Investigations into these matters are underway. There is much more news to stay up for this late night. When we return, entrepreneurial opportunities for Long Islanders. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight at 11. That story on the other side of the break.
Step into a life of luxury and convenience with the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card. From earning premium cashback rewards on every dollar spent to enjoying comprehensive travel insurance, shop with confidence, knowing your purchases are protected. Our Platinum Concierge service turns your requests into reality, wherever life takes you. Let the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card be your passport to exceptional experiences. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
It's me, Wednesday Addams. Your life just took a dark turn. I regret to inform you that I have devised the meal of misfortune with Wendy's. It's pure torture for your taste buds, with 4 nightmarish dips of dread. Don't waste my time asking which ones you'll get. You must surrender to your fate. Enjoy the anguish.
We are just done with Disrupt HR Trinidad, and it was phenomenal. We indeed got our shift together. So many incredible speakers, so many incredible viewpoints shared today. Such an incredible opportunity to connect, to engage, and to really disrupt the status quo. If you have never been to a Disrupt HR event, you want to stay close to this following, because it is somewhere you definitely need to be. I want you to join me and my team in Disrupt HR Nassau on September 26th. If you want to be disruptive, if you want to be disrupted, come on out and disrupt with me. God bless you, and we'll talk soon.
As we continue here on this Thursday night, it's part of a national focus to bolster entrepreneurship throughout the Family Islands. The Small Business Development Center is canvassing the archipelago, identifying new and existing businesses that need critical funding to realize their dream of operating a successful operation. Businesses can access between $5,000 to $10,000 in grant funding and significantly more in loans. And of the $94 million in approved funding, Long Island has truly benefited from this venture. During a town hall meeting last night, SBDC Executive Director Samantha Roll encouraged Long Islanders to invest and apply. And then the government, she says, will support. It's a move the senior business advisor, Ramona Taylor, says she's willing to lead.
I do understand in the filling out of the application how it can feel overwhelming, particularly because you're passionate about this. It's something that you need, you want, you desire. But I also want you to understand the application process. It helps us in terms of accountability, transparency, and it also helps you in terms of preparedness. It's important for us to make sure that we're doing our due diligence in one aspect. But for you, if we're asking for a business plan, financial statements, or compliance documents, it helps you to prepare in that sense to make sure that your business succeeds.
For my part, what I have seen and the interest that I get from people across the island is very encouraging, to say the least, and I think that it's going to continue. And now that everyone in this room sees that, SBDC is serious about getting you what you need in the time and manner that you need it, I think that it's just going to be great going forward.
While islanders have long been crying for banking facilities, that the existing ones have all discontinued operations. While there's an automatic teller machine, business owners say it is critical to have a branch presence. Clearing Banks Association President and Fidelity Bank Group CEO Gowan Bowe acknowledges that the new Family Island banking model will change. However, despite banks being adverse to take risk with Family Island businesses, Bowe contends Fidelity's partnership with the SBDC proves otherwise, as he recognizes that a goal without a plan is just a wish.
What I'm saying to you is, don't come to me pensive. Don't come as if you're not sure. Right. Because then I'm not sure. If you come to me with confidence, not arrogance, that says, I have a plan, I have persons who've showed me how I can make this work, I expect you, Bo, to challenge me, but I believe I can answer all your questions and demonstrate to you. And then I would say, make sure that you are not trying to meet a need that you believe is necessary. Make sure that you've done your research to say, I'm meeting a need where people are willing to pay for it.
Also tonight, the Department of Inland Revenue continuing its crackdown on liquor establishments. Every entity with a liquor business, save for those in Freeport governed by the Hawksbill Creek Agreement, including hotels, will be required to secure a certificate of registration. It is all a part of changes to the Business License Act. Department of Inland Revenue Controller Shunda Strawn updated the Bahamas Hotel and Tourism Association on where things stand during its virtual annual general meeting today.
That is going to be a big change, because right now most hotels just have a hotel license, and we really don't know how many restaurants and bars or lounges or liquor stores or even stores that may sell souvenirs and selling liquor. So the act was amended, the Business License Act was amended, and now there is a certification process that everyone who sells liquor will have to go through. And so who falls in the category? As I said before, liquor stores, bars, restaurants, and every restaurant serving alcohol. And that includes the hotels, that includes the private destinations.
All right, Controller Strawn says liquor merchants will have to apply for certification 90 days before applying for a business license, and in the case of new businesses, 90 days before opening date. What differs is that public consultation will have to take place before certification for licenses is approved. The same applies in the case of renewals.
What we will require you to do is to go on the liquor registration portal and at least sign onto the portal and indicate to us the number of restaurants you have, the number of liquor stores or souvenir stores that sell liquor, and attach a copy of your hotel license. And that will suffice for liquor registration for the hotels.
For half a century long and going strong, one of our country's international partners' presence has been felt through various initiatives and influxes in stopover tourists. Now they've twisted things up a bit by ensuring their passengers capture the true essence of Bahamian culture, all through one event. Danielle Dean explains.
The Royal Caribbean Cruise Line has made the Bahamas a premier destination on its itinerary for over 50 years, according to Royal Caribbean International President and CEO Michael Bailey. And this year, the exclusive President's Cruise, via the group of companies' brand new Utopia of the Seas, has docked on our shores.
About 2,500 of those guests are our highest tier Pinnacle members, or the guests who sail with Royal Caribbean sometimes hundreds and hundreds of times. They love the brand, they love Royal Caribbean, we love them. So we have a special cruise every year. Thousands of people have come. We have parties and events. We have all kinds of great activities. And it's just a kind of a family affair.
The Bold Baja Bash, a party that embodies everything Bahamian, was launched Tuesday for the annual cruise's thousands of passengers.
The Bold Baja Bash is a partnership that we've developed with the Ministry of Tourism, a wonderful partnership in the Nassau Cruise Port, and so it's designed to bring the culture and the creativity of the Bahamas to life and to really showcase the food, the drinks, the music, the entertainment that you've seen, all of that to our guests and our visitors for the day.
Perfect Day at Coco Key, also part of the agenda. Royal Caribbean Bahamas President Philip Simon bragged the festivities were only a sneak peek of what's to come with the Royal Beach Club later this year. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Some sad news tonight coming out of the local sporting community. Amajal Knowles has a look at that story. More coming up next in sports. Here's Amajal.
Eddie Ford passing away at 77. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
Are you a talented musician ready to take your passion to the next level? Then the Bahamas National Youth Choir is the place to be. Auditions are now open for the month of September to persons ages 15 to 25 years old. We offer two exciting options: concert choir for those who enjoy classical and traditional music, and show choir for those who want to perform in a more theatrical setting. Don't miss your chance to be a part of an incredible musical journey. To set up your audition appointment, email us at bnycsecretary@gmail.com. Let your voice be heard with the Bahamas National Youth Choir.
Welcome to your Thursday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles. We top off tonight's sportscast on a somber note as the local sporting community mourning the death of one of the country's greatest athletes from one of the more prominent sporting families in the Bahamas. Eddie Ford passing away last night in hospital after a battle with a long-time illness. Ford is considered one of, if not the most versatile athletes the country has ever seen. A stellar cricket player, widely recognized as the first Bahamian to score 100 points in a local basketball game, and his prowess on the baseball diamond was unmatched in the minors in the MLB, and then dominating on the local scene, winning the Triple Crown, then giving back to the game, serving for years as an umpire. San Soul sports team catching up with his younger brother Andy Ford and nephew Charlie Major at the family's homestead, who spoke about Eddie's legacy.
But Eddie, my brother Eddie, he's probably one of the greatest athletes, or the best athlete that ever hit this country. You know, he was well gifted in every sport he played: baseball, softball, basketball, cricket. He's the only person that scored 100 points in basketball, and he was very talented, and he was such a gifted athlete and a gifted brother to us. Well, as an example, he said we always wanted to be like Eddie. People say want to be like Mike. You know, he always wanted to be gifted like Eddie, you know, but he was just such a natural person. But he set the table for us, you know, it was something that we should to go at. He was always there to helpful with us. He's always there on the field with us. We played together, you know, as we got older. You know, he taught us a few things. You know, he worked with us. And also he's always a good family man. He's always around. He's always helpful around the place, around the house. And he was just such a joyful fella, you know, and he loved Junkanoo just as much as he loved sports.
Well, like Andy said, everybody wanted to be like Eddie. Eddie, you know, people say the Fords were this, but we got that persona playing sports because of Eddie. Eddie never wanted to lose, and that was in our genes. You know, we go to win, you know, and if we lose, we upset. And that's what it is. And, you know, we can fight on the field, not off the field. We can, in the diamond. You know, Eddie was one of the greatest athletes this country's ever produced. You played baseball, you played basketball, you played softball, one of the greatest cricketer. You understand? Fellas like Eddie Ford, unsung hero, has gone.
Also weighing in on Ford's passing would be the nation's chief Prime Minister, Honorable Philip Davis, saying in a statement he was saddened to hear of the passing of Eddie Ford. His name has long been spoken with respect in the country and for good reason, adding that Eddie was an athlete of rare ability, that he could step on to a baseball diamond, a basketball court, a cricket pitch, or softball field and make an immediate difference. Adding that Eddie's story is a part of the Bahamian story. He showed that greatness can come from our own neighborhoods, our own schools, and from our own fields. He proved that a boy from the Bahamas could stand tall in any arena, and his legacy is not only in the records he set or the titles that he earned, but in the generations of young athletes he inspired. Also offering his condolences on the passing of Ford would be the country's sports minister, Honorable Mario Bolek, releasing a statement today, adding that Ford was a true giant of Bahamian sport, similarly noting his accomplishments across several sporting disciplines, adding that beyond these achievements, he gave back selflessly to the sports he loved, serving as an umpire and, of course, mentor to younger athletes. His dedication, skill, and spirit ensured his influence would extend past his playing career, noting that Ford was inducted into the Bahamas Sports Hall of Fame in 2016, a lasting recognition of his extraordinary feats, adding that his legacy will live on for years, closing with him extending condolences to his family. Eddie Ford was 77 years old. NBA says softball action, a rematch of last year's championship series in junior girls between the St. Augustine's Big Red Machine and the Queens College Comets. The rivals, though, would only be able to get in 2 innings worth of action as the game would be called due to inclement weather. The Comets, though, would lead 7-6 after 2. San Jose sports team understands that the game will be continued at a later date. And in college basketball news, it's almost time for the start of the NCAA basketball season. And back leading the charge of the Ole Miss Lady Rebels is Yolette Matthew-McCowan, who's hoping for some big things from Team 51. Lady Reps holding their first official practice this week, and Coach Yo spoke about our expectations for the squad.
First official practice, excited about Team 51 and what they bring to the table. A lot of unique personalities. We are incredibly diverse as far as talent is concerned. We got shooters, we got drivers, we got bigs, we got littles, we got a little bit of everything. Really a fun team. I think the community will enjoy this group. They've already put themselves out there without us, like especially on campus too. So we're really relying on our students to reciprocate that and support them this season.
And that's been a look at your sports on this Thursday. I'm Amajal Knowles, signing out until tomorrow.
Wait, what you grabbing all these pizzas, boy? Wait, Marcos, wait. We have a special on all the large one-topping pizzas, wait. Pineapple. All. Barbecue. All. Hey, that included, but I need the $10 special, please. How many of them would you like? 20 in it. Thank you so much, man. $10, that's it. And Marcos got that deal, boy.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting TingsyBahamas.com.
You've got termites and need to get rid of them fast? Trust Rent-A-Kill Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rent-A-Kill Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rent-A-Kill Initial.
And we want to check in one final time with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean, who continues to watch the tropics for us tonight. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Carvel. Some wet weather is on the way, and that will be courtesy of a tropical wave which is moving across Hispaniola, and we expect that to move into the southeast Bahamas by tomorrow, where we expect some intensification of that system to take place. Low pressure will form in the southeast, and then we're looking for a tropical depression to develop as it approaches the central and northwestern parts of our country on Saturday. So we're asking residents in the southeast Bahamas and the central parts of our country to brace themselves for some very heavy rain showers and thunderstorms starting tomorrow, and those winds will be gusty as well. And as we look at our live weather radar, you can see the disjointed shower and thunderstorm activity associated with that just in the vicinity of Hispaniola. All of that will be spreading into the southeast Bahamas beginning tonight and tomorrow. Live satellite radar is showing we still have that troughing over the northwestern Bahamas, and that too will continue to support pockets of showers and thunderstorms, mainly around Grand Bahama and the Abaco tonight and tomorrow. And our temperatures around the islands this evening: Marsh up, Abaco, Green Turtle Key, and Freeport, all at 84 degrees. The Berry Islands 85, Allenstown, Bimini 84, 85 in Harbour Island, Roxanne, Luther 82, 85 degrees in Otterstown, Kerala, Black Point, Exuma, Camp Space, St. Andros, and also in Fresh Creek, Central Andros. And as we take you a little further south, San Salvador, Rumkey, 85s again, Georgetown, Exuma at 86 degrees. And your forecast for tonight: partly cloudy, warm and humid. The low temperature is just around 80 degrees. And tomorrow we're looking at a thunderstorm on the prowl in the morning. Otherwise, partly sunny with a high temperature getting up to 90 degrees. And the extended weather forecast: we'll continue to have showers and thunderstorms in the forecast right through Sunday, but by Monday, things are going to clear up quite nicely with lots of sunshine returning to our forecast. Carvel.
All right, and keep it here with the ZNS News Network. Basil, of course, will be monitoring those systems. We'll keep you posted with the very latest. That is our broadcast for this Thursday night. I'm Corvell Pyfrom, and for all of us, take care, be well, and remember, we will be looking to see you again right back here tomorrow evening. Good night.
At Centerville, I'm LaDawn Davis. This is ZNS.